Hi. Today I'll talk about the interface. That is like an engine of object-oriented programming. When you design something with your friends, your teams, sometimes you didn't implement it, the real class or the real object yet, or maybe your implementation may have different or like vary in different approach, different method, but you want other people to be able to call your class. So what you have to do, uh, I'd like to show you the interface. Today I'll use the internal class. So everything I will write in the same file. So I will try to make you understand by an example of how can we write the Java that work like a list in Python. So this one is the interface, the list of int. Okay, so my list of int will have like provide a add method for other class to be able to add the member to this list, and then it should be able to find. Can you remember the function find in list? Super easy, right? Find int v, and then this method will return the index of uh, the element that equal to v, right? And then public int get min and public int get max. Okay, so these are four methods that I will provide for other classes to be able to call it. So when you want to call it, I will start with something that is cannot first. I will use the public class app, right? And then public static void main. And then here, if you want to use a list of int, you can use the same thing, but you look at this first. My list is new list of int. So you can see that there's a red line here, list of int. It is an interface, so you cannot instantiate the type of list of int, because this is an interface. But you cannot instantiate an object, but you can do other thing. Okay, we'll do it later, but I'll show you the best way first. Once you write the interface, now other classes can use it. For example, I will write a method to allow the user to enter our value via the keyboard. So I will create something here, public void add from keyboard, and then you have to provide the list of int to be for example L, and then you have to get an integer from the keyboard. So you have to use scanner, right? So I will create a scanner class, a scanner object here. Scanner kb is new scanner, and then system.in to get the value from the keyboard. But you didn't import scanner yet, so you have to import here. Import java.util.scanner. That's all. So now you can use the scanner and then use kb.next int. But before you can get the key from the keyboard, you have to print something out to the screen for the user first. Please take a look at this. I use print instead of print line because I want to show the prompt and then wait for the user to enter the new values in the same line. So please enter a number you want to add to your list. Okay. And then once you finish, now you can call l.add x. The one that you can see here is you didn't implement how can you add, or what is the engine of the list of int, but you know that you have to provide the int method for, the add method for other classes to be able to add a member to your list. Okay, so now it's work. This method already work, but the one that you instantiate an object still didn't work because you don't have the real object. So you have to create a real class that implement this one. Okay, so what is that one? Maybe I will use the class standard list of int that extends list of int. No, not extend. Tabnai help me, that's wrong. You have to implement the list of int. And then once you use this keyword, the implements, it will show the red line here because there are 4 errors that must implement the inherited abstract method. The abstract method means the method that you didn't implement yet. And of course, in the interface, there are 4 methods that you didn't implement. So you have to implement all of them. So start with add. Look at this. Int v. So I keep it like this. Public int find v. And public int get min. And return -1, for example, because if you declare the return type as an integer, you have to return something. If not, an error will occur. Find get min and get max. Return something. So once you implement all of them, you can see that the red line disappear here. Okay. So now your program can be implemented using this way. List of int, my list is new list of int. It is an interface. It has no object. So you must use the real class, the class that implement this one. Okay. So then add from keyboard and send my list. Okay, but this line, it tells you that add from keyboard is declared as a method, but this one is the class, so it's not an object. The static keyword means that this one is the method of the class, not the object. So this method is called from the class, not the object. So this one must be called from the class too. Because your add from keyboard is called from here. Maybe in your program or other people programs, they will call this one from the class, not the object. No need to create an object. Okay, so you have to use the keyword static. Okay, so to add, of course, you have think. Actually, I can show you the complete implementation of this class, but I want you to think along with me. At first, you have to provide the member variable that I will use the normal array of int. So I will use int to be values and start with nothing, and size is 0. No no elements yet. So once you want to add it, so it's, oh no, sorry, you have to create a constructor first. So I will use public standard list of int and provide no parameter, and then I use this new int. I'll start with size 10 first, and then if it's not enough, I will add it more. Okay. So once other class call this, it means that it will add a values to this list. So if the size is still less than v dot value dot length, it means that you can add, right? So you can use values size plus equal to v. Okay, and once you finish, you can return. And else, if not, it means that you have to increase the size or resize this list. Okay, the way that you can resize or add more space, you can think that add more space, but I will use the keyword resize. And then you can get the more space, the number of space that you want. Okay, but guys, because this one will be called just only in this class, only for this object, so resize should be private. Okay, what we have to do here is I will create a new list of values to be the same size, but add more space. So I will use this one, values dot length plus more space. Okay, and then I will copy all values in values to new value first. So I will start with I is 0, I less than value dot length, I plus, and then values I equal to, the values of new values must be equal to values. Okay, and then I must change this member variable values to point to the new array that we already allocate more space here. Okay, so this one is resize. Okay, so this one, if it's not returned yet, it means that the size is equal to value dot length. That is not good. Okay, so it's full, like you can think that it's full, so you have to resize it first. So resize more, for example, maybe you think that the simplest way is more space to be 10, for example, and then it will resize. Now it resized already, right? Okay, so now you can use this one, but maybe the code is not good because this part is redundant. So you can think that if this one should be better if you change this, if the size is equal, or sometimes you use greater than, but shouldn't be greater than. But in your thought, to make it like equals, maybe it's not safe. So use if size is greater than or equal to value dot length, just resize it. And then once you resize, now you can you can use values size plus plus. Use size first and then increment it. This one is plus plus. It's very special operators. Plus plus after variable and plus plus before the variable. I'll tell about this later, but you can think that you use the size first and then increase it by 1. Okay, so that's all for add. To be able to check, maybe you need to use find to be able to check find index. So for int I is 0, I less than size. Okay, and then if where I use I equal to v, return I. Then if not, return -1. If you can find at some index, just return that index. If not, return I. Okay, get min and get max I will tell you later. Okay, so now you can add from the keyboard and then check that. Add another member, not only 1, 2, 3, just add 3 of them, and then I'll check for 10. System.out.println my list dot find 10, for example. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, the first line is please enter a number you want to add. I'll add 5, 10, and 15. Yes, it find at index 1. Yeah, that's correct. So I run again to check your program. 10, 20, 30, it should be found at index 0, right? Yes, it's correct. Again, I will use 5, 15, and 25. 10 is not here, so it should be -1. It's correct. Okay, so your program is correct now. Okay, easy, right? Okay, so if you want to show all elements in the list, maybe you need to create a method print list. I'll show you some variation first. Okay, this one I add the print list into this implementation standard list of int. If I add the print list, look at this, public void print list, and then for we don't need to use the index, so you can use int v in values. It will iterate through all elements, same as the one that you did with Python, because you don't need to use the index, right? You just use iterate through all values, so it will print v. Finally, if I don't find it, and then I will use my list dot print. Nothing here, right? Why? Because my list is declared as the list of int. So if you use print list, that is not declared in list of int, right? Because in this interface, there are just only 4 methods. The new method that you just written is here in the print list of the implementation of standard list of int. So it doesn't enter, it is not in the list of int, but it's in the standard list of int. So you cannot call print list directly from my list. The best way is you have to change it from my list to standard list of int. So the way that we can do is we will cast it. Casting is just you have to specify the type or the class that you want to change this interface into, and you can use casting with other variables also. So once you cast it, now it is my list can be standard list of int. So standard list of int provide you the method print list. So now you can run it. Look at this. I will start with 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then it will print 10, 11, 12, and print all 0. Tab 9 help me, but it's not correct. Sorry, not tab 9, me, because you iterate through all elements in values, but actually you have to iterate just only the size. I less than size and I plus plus, and use value size. Just run it. I forgot I is 0. Okay. I add 11, 12, and 31. Yes, it print all members here. Okay. So that's all for just the first example of the interface. I will show you next, but in the next video clip, I will implement this for you. Get min and get max. Okay, and I will show you another thing that I think is very useful. Okay, see you in the next video clip.